Hey guys, FAL guy here. Welcome to another cool video on the FAL. In today's video, we are going to compare two black rifles. That is correct, an FAL to an AR-15. Do you know that the AR-15 was the second black rifle? That the first one was the FAL? Because the FAL came first, early 50s, and it was all black compared to the AR-15 who came way later, probably like 8 to 10 years later in serious production, and it was black too. But anyhow, the FAL was first. So let's get started. Before we start, I wanted to give a shout out to a buddy and mentor of mine. Call sign is Imperial6. Keep on doing what you're doing. You're great. And I hope one day that you join me in the FAL world and you experience the uniqueness and awesomeness of FALs. Anyhow, let's get started. In this review, we're going to look at the individual rifles first. Then we're going to delve into the ambidextrous modularity and suppressive readiness of the rifle. And lastly, we're going to do some drills and we'll see how they do. Let's have a look at the AR-15 we're going to use for this review. This is an AR-15. It is more or less a clone-ish correct M4 rifle. It features a CTR buttstock. We have an A2 pistol grip. We have the correct ambidextrous safety. We have the correct charging handle. It's nothing crazy. We have flip-up sight because I believe backup iron sights are a must. Third arm magazine, detachable, obviously. It is all built on an FN lower and a BCM upper 14.5-inch government profile upper with a birdcage muzzle brake. So nothing fancy on it, just regular good old birdcage. Because I think that birdcage is a really good flash hider, by the way. Anyhow, optic wise, we're going to have a CCO, close combat optic, that is a comp M4 or M2, can't remember, by Aimpoint. Then we have a Quadrail, which is a Knight's Armament Quadrail. We have a front grip on it. I have a PEC-15 mount on top of it. There's Surefire on the other side that has a vampire head, so I can swap between IR, no light, and white light. I have an Unity switch on it and a sling. So it's a pretty basic loadout, nothing crazy. The trigger itself is a government profile trigger. It's a milspec standard. Feel it. It's nothing to brag about. I made it standard and as clone correct as I could, out of reasons. Let's have a look at the FAL we're going to be using today. The FAL we're going to run today is an FAL you have seen many times before. I also did a video on it. And that is the Combat Ready FAL. Features the BRS folding stock, so I can fold it to the side. Has a sling on it, obviously. Regular pistol grip, because I do like the regular pistol grip, because it's nothing crazy. Eotech magnifier combo, because I do think that seeing targets at further distance is awesome, and also engaging target close-up is really cool. Eotech is just a phenomenal optic. You can say whatever you want, but I really like Eotech. Then we have an ambidextrous mag release. We have the regular charging handle, which is a metric charging handle on this side. We have obviously rail dust cover in conjunction with the Quadrail. That is the old DSA Quadrail. They don't make them anymore. I'm sorry, guys. You have to go with an M-lock. PEC-15 on it. Surefire as well. This is just a regular Surefire head, nothing crazy. Regular Surefire tape switch, front grip, and regular muzzle brake. So this is a very standard FAL that I can find and that I just love. It has been, I think, 5 years that I have this rifle now, or 4.5, and it has done me just phenomenal services. It just runs and runs, upgraded. It is heavy. It is, but I mean, that's why we go to the gym, right? Anyhow, let's go and have a more in-depth look at very certain things about these rifles. Looking at the first thing we want to talk about, ambidextrous controls. Is my rifle ambidextrous? I'm going to say no, it's not. I have not made many upgrades to this rifle except the ones that I perceive to be service correct. Ambidextrous controls, I only have the safety. Safety is the US Army safety that is ambidextrous. The rest, charging handle, not ambidextrous. The bolt release, not ambidextrous. So it's basically an out-of-the-box rifle with a minor modification to have the ambidextrous safety. So there's one point for this rifle. Looking at the next thing, and that is accessories for the rifle. I have to say, for an AR-15, we got all the accessories and some. It is the most popular rifle in the US. There is no doubt about it, any tells. Obviously, this rifle came very basic with the railed receiver. I put the Knight's Armament handguard on it. I then put the super cool ERGO extension to it. It basically clamps on the front side post, and it gives you some more real estate so I can run my PEC 15 and my flashlight. I then put a sling swivel on it, another stock, and obviously a rear sight and an optic. So for ambidextrous, it's like 10 out of 10 points because I can buy so much more than I wanted to. I can have a very basic AR and switch everything on. Get new triggers, new charging handles. Hey, even if I were to swap the barrels, easy done. I can just take out the barrel, put a new barrel. If I go with a more premium brand, like Daniel Defense or Knight's Armament or whatever else is out there, I can get it customized as I want. But again, if you buy a cheap AR-15 for out of the box with a 16-inch barrel, you get a very basic rifle that you need to shell some money into to make it cool. But anyhow, for modularity and aftermarket parts, 10 out of 10. Last thing is magazines. I can get so many magazines for this rifle, and they're dirt cheap. Everybody nowadays makes magazines. And we have popular brands such as Magpul, and it's just reliable as hell. So that is so awesome for his weapon system. Last thing I want to talk about is the suppressor readiness. Is this rifle suppressor ready? I would say yes and no. Yes, because I can easily swap muzzle brakes on this. Hey, even Griffin Armament makes suppressors that slide on the A2 birdcage. But if I didn't want to and I want to have a different one, I can easily buy a different muzzle brake, swap it, install it, run my suppressor. But then comes the issue. Due to the DI system that we have in here in terms of the gas, I have a lot of dirt coming back compared to like an HK416 type of rifle, which is kind of like an upgraded AR-15 and way cooler to some extent. So there is that. And if I wanted to run it clean and reliable, it just costs a lot of money to install an adjustable gas block if I had the money for it, if my AR-15 does take that. So there is that. It's like, man, yes, absolutely you can run it suppressed, but it is not the most ideal platform. I know some people are going to say like, oh no, it is the best platform. I don't know. I don't think so. I think an HK416 with adjustable gas block with the short stroke piston is just slightly better as a suppressor. I need to clean it less. This requires a lot of maintenance when running suppressed. Anyhow, so that is the AR-15. Let's have a look at the FAL, its main competitor, and how it does. You have seen this FAL many times before. I did videos on it whatsoever, so I'm going to keep it short. Start at the first point. Ambidextrous? No. The only ambidextrous thing is the mag release. I'm going to use my thumb or with my index finger. That's about it. DS Arms is working on more controls, such as the safety, the bolt release, but right now they're not out yet. So there is that. So ambidextrous, no, apart. One thing, mag release. Looking at accessories, are they easy to accessorize? Compared to an AR-15, absolutely not. There are not many manufacturers. For handguards, you only have Aim Sport, DS Arms, and Viltor if Viltor ever releases one. And you're very limited in accessories. Rail dust cover is only one company. Stock and the different stocks, whether the AR-15 stock, BRS stock, or parafolding stock, there's only one company, DS Arms. It doesn't mean it's bad because their stocks do work. And they give you modularity on this aging platform, and I think that's pretty cool, but just limited from whom you can get stuff. And then last thing about suppressor host. I would say the FAL is a great suppressor host. Why? Because I can run a different gas plug in here that reduces the flow of gas and the kickback of gas a lot. I can bleed off gas in my gas regulator here, and I can run a lot of different cans on this rifle. There are different companies that make muzzle brakes that fit the FAL barrel, plus I can have FALs made with a 5/8 by 24 AR-10 twist. So that already opens up a lot of suppressor, variety for the rifle. So overall for suppressor, I would say definitely, it is definitely a good host for that compared to an AR-15. And it runs cleaner on it, which is also very cool. Because again, I can bleed off gas to the front. So that is the short overview of the FAL. So let's go to the next step and fire a couple of rounds with the FAL and the AR-15 and see how they compare. We're going to start out with a couple of rounds of slow fire, like 4 or 5 rounds, just to give you an idea on how the recoil is in this rifle, how it runs. And yeah, we're going to start with the FAL first. Next up is the M4, or AR15, so to speak. That was pretty easy. Let's take you to the next testing. The next testing we're gonna do is fire a couple of rounds faster and conduct a mag change. And that's where the AR15 comes into play and be really neat. Unfortunately, the mag got stuck in the mag well. Can't always win, but apart from that, shows it's so easy to control this rifle, get the mag out, put the new mag in, let go, and get back on target. Let's try the same thing with the FAL. So you've seen exactly what I expected, not what I expected, but what I thought might happen. Magazine from 1963. When I tried to chamber round, I don't know what happened, but it just didn't go in as smoothly, and the bolt didn't lock to the rear on this rifle. It can happen. So that is one of the drawbacks of the FAL, is the magazine maintenance, and I definitely not maintain this magazine. The last drill we're going to run on this rifle is 2 times double tap and 1 single round at the end. That's all I got left. And just tighten the strap real quick. There we go. And just to show you, that this magazine, that is from 1963. Yeah, it's old, still works. I cleaned it inside, and that was about it. I took the spring out. There was nothing, no obstruction, so I don't know why I didn't properly chamber round when we did the reload. But whatever, it is what it is. It will run, I'll show you. And yeah, let's get started. That was it. That was the last double taps in the last round on this rifle. And you've seen that it doesn't shoot too bad. It is actually a very smooth shooting FAL. I mean, there's some weight to it, but apart from that, it is just a phenomenally smooth shooting rifle for its age. But it is heavy, we all know. Anyhow, let's conduct these drills with the AR15 as well, and then we get to the conclusion. So we're going to conduct the same drill with the AR15, 2 double taps, 1 last round. Let's see how it does. That was it on the AR15. Obviously, lighter gun, less recoil, runs very smooth. And one thing that I did realize shooting these 2 rifles side by side is that the AR15 has like a quicker target reset because less of a recoil, less of a muzzle climb. But I do sacrifice the strength of a full 7.62 by 51mm bullet. Preferences, I guess. Anyhow, had a couple of rounds left. Let's mag dump that thing. Getting to the conclusion. So I think that both rifles are awesome rifles. I like the AR15. I've worked with the AR15 for years and I like to run it. It is just a cool rifle. It is the American rifle. It is the black rifle that the American citizen owns and knows. And it's in use worldwide. Obviously, we have a better variant of it. It's called HK416. Like it or not, but it's true. It runs cleaner suppressors. It is a phenomenal weapon system. And it just took everything, all the good of the AR15 and incorporated it into a new platform. But anyway, we're going to talk about the HK416 versus FL in another video. Getting back to the AR15, it is modular. It has a lot of aftermarket parts and it can be almost 100% ambidextrous. I mean, we have the SIG M400, I think, is an ambidextrous AR15. And obviously the newer HK416 are all ambidextrous. And the MCX, which is kind of like a hybrid between a 416 and AR15, is also ambidextrous. Then we have the FAL. The FAL is a true first black rifle for those of you who did not know it. Here you can see a newspaper extract from 1955 when they shipped FALs to Canada on a larger batch. It just shows they came up before the Air Force ordered the AR-15 with green furniture back in the early 60s and before they were shipped to Vietnam in 1967 or 68, if my memory serves me right. But the FAL They're kind of like stuck in that niche for years because back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, aftermarket products were not a real thing. And then DS Arms picks up the project and makes it into something really cool, a modern battle rifle. That's what I like about the rifle. It's obviously not a 5.56 rifle, but for a 308, it is a phenomenally cool and smooth shooting rifle. You've seen the video. It shoots comfortable, it sits comfortable. Yes, it has a more recoil because of a bigger cartridge, but it doesn't mean that I'm considerably slower with it. So overall, the FAL is just a phenomenally cool platform and is still valid. I can shoot with that rifle up to 200 to 300 meters, get accurate rounds on target, and I got just a heavy hitting cartridge coming out of it. So at the end of the day, which one do I prefer? I'm split. I like the AR15 because I work with it and I use it a lot. I love the FAL because of the heritage and culture. So there is that. Take it whatever or whichever hand you want in terms of which one is better. All I'm going to say is different guns, both do the exact same thing. And if I had to choose a firearm for a truck gun that always runs, that I can suppress easily, and that has a heavy cartridge, it's going to be the FAL. If I'm going to have a truck gun that is just modular and that I can get spare parts everywhere, it'll be the AR15. So yeah, I'm sorry I can't give you a conclusion to which one is better, but I hope you've seen that the FAL is not trash and the M4 or the AR15 is not the overall best rifle. Both have pros and cons. So I hope it helps you make a decision which rifle you want to get. And maybe you'll end up having both like I do. Anyhow, thank you very much for watching this video. Hope you had a good time, and until next time.